Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma Winter. Now, our heroes today are going to be StC Isdalicious. I suppose he is delicious. And he's going to be playing for the Soviets, and his opponent today is going to be Spazmatic, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. Now, I will premise again this game, mentioning that this is not going to be a high-level game. High-level play, that is what I'm trying to say. This is more in line to, I suppose you could say, what Imperial Dane does in his propaganda cast to the Monday Novice fights. It's not a, regular thing I want to do specifically, but, I mean, I don't mind doing it. And Isdalicious here sent me this replay requesting, some tips or tricks or any advice to improve. So hopefully I'll be able to spot anything that I can see here to, help him improve on his game. And, well, if any of you guys notice anything in particular that, could help him out, well, make sure to leave that in the comments. So anyways, into the game. We see that Isdalicious went ahead and built himself his tier 1 like most Germans do, so no problem there. Got himself 2 grenadiers, 1 grenadier going down south, the other one apparently also going down south. It came out through here, we'll see where he sent it out. And the pioneers were sent up north to capture territory. Combat engineers in the center take a shot from the pioneers, but nobody actually hits each other, and the combat engineers for Spazmatic actually jump into the house. For Spazmatic, we see again the usual for Soviets, no tech, to start off with, and getting himself conscripts. 2 conscripts already on the field heading into the center. We see the munition point captured, and they are now going for the cutoff point against these grenadiers, with a 3rd conscript squad being produced, while Isdalicious is also getting himself a 3rd grenadier squad, so no MG42s for Isdalicious so far. Grant's capturing the point, holding position in the light cover of that cart, getting a little bit flanked by these conscripts. Not entirely a, flank per se, considering they can just turn to shoot, but they are outnumbered right now. The 2nd Grenadier Squad is a little bit further back, taking some shots at the advancing conscript squad, but this Grenadier Squad is now surrounded by 11 conscripts, well, 10 now, and they are taking quite a beating. This other Grand Squad is actually in a decent position to help out. These conscripts are not in the right side of that cover for the most part, although this one is, I guess you could say. And that conscript squad is taking a beating, down to 2 men. At this point, Isdalicious should move up his grents. Yeah, there comes the 2 grents. This other one squad does end up retreating in the face of this conscript squad, but he needs to get his grents into position to continue to connect his territory. And does he manage to get in there in time? No, he actually gets cut off and will be having to run out of the field. Up north, we hear pioneers and combat engineers engaging. The pioneers are in light cover with heavy covered engineers, which is not a favorable fight. Always remember that pioneers have SMGs as opposed to the rifles for the engineers, which means that the pioneers work better up close. Jumping them into the house, though, is a great option there. You are going to sacrifice the point, but it is going to allow them to have the upper hand, so very nice there. Down south, we see grenadiers just moving to capture the fuel, and Grants holding position around the cutoff point, expecting the conscripts to move in to take it out. And we have a 4th Grenadier Squad hitting the field for Isdalicious. Not exactly sure I agree with that. It's not a bad choice, don't get me wrong. It all depends on how you use them, but considering the start position and that this point is harassable, an MG42 wouldn't be a bad idea. But we'll see how it works out for him. Anyways, pioneers up north, they do decide to jump out of the house after a conscript squad moves in to throw a Molotov, a very delayed Molotov. The pioneers were already around the wall here before that Molotov even landed, but, well, they do manage to push them off. The pioneers will move on to capture some territory. Center of the map, we see conscripts and grenadiers just duking it out at long range. The grenadiers will win this fight very easily, and if he gets, what am I trying to say? Phase 1, if he upgrades the Phase 1 escalation, which he is doing right now, he will be able to throw some rifle nades at range, so yeah. Grenadiers always better at range, pretty much, but not always. Well, I shouldn't say always, but whatever. Anyways, 4 conscript squads against 2 grenadier squads. Molotov landing where the grenadiers were. Nice Molotov landing on the southern grenadiers. And we have a 3rd grenadier squad coming up behind. These grenadiers are deciding to tank the fire. They are right at the edge of it, so it doesn't look like they're taking that much damage. So very nice. Down to 2 men, though. They are taking quite a beating to these conscripts. The conscripts are Well, hanging in there, there's a fourth Grand Squad behind lines that is going to move up. This Grenadier is retreating at one man, barely makes it alive, and these two Grand Squads are in a decent position. Grand Squad over here coming in for the flank. If they go for the heavy cover, that is excellent. There they go. And the conscripts are having to shift their position to counter this Grand Squad while allowing these other ones to move up. And they are now in a very tough spot. This one is down to 2 men. There it goes on the retreat. So 1 conscript squad against 3 4-man squad Grenadiers. Very nice win there for Isdalicious. Up north, Pio's just capturing. The fuel on the north is still in the possession for Spazmatic, but he doesn't have it connected right now because the munitions point has gotten decapped. But Isdalicious is not leaving anybody to cap. Well, there it goes. Pulls back one of the Grenadier squads. 2 conscript squads pushing forward against 2 Grand Squads. Grand Squads decide to jump into the house, make it a little bit more difficult. It is going to get Molotov, though. We can almost guarantee that. And this Grand Squad in the point is taking a beating to both squads. Down 1 man and forced to back away. Grant's in the munitions point, taking some shots at this other conscript squad. Down to 3 men, gets himself into heavy cover. Down to 2 men, very battered. 5-man conscript squad moves up, probably going to throw a Molotov onto the house. There it goes, wind up, and there goes the Molotov. Very nice jumping out of the house there for Isdalicious. 2 men left on this Grenadier squad. Down to 1 man. Needs to retreat. It is going to retreat, but in between all the conscripts, can he make it out alive? He does get veterancy 1, but that doesn't get him any defensive bonuses. But the Grenadier makes that alive. This Grand Squad needs to move up a little bit further more. It isn't in any position there to support. Rifle nade going down on this conscript squad. Very nice. Brings it down to 1 man, but it forces a retreat. And this Grand Squad is down to 2 men, so it will not be able to pick up that kill. Other Grand Squad does move up to support. LMGs would be great at this point, getting upgraded on that, but he is not deciding to go for that. Grand Squad moves up against, again, 2 conscript squads. We are 4 on 4, basically. Tier 2 produced for Isdalicious, getting himself a half-track. Very nice. That half-track will be able to support his Grens on the field. 2 Grens going down while trying to garrison into the house. 2 of them do make it inside and are probably going to get Molotov once again. There comes the pitch, and the Molotov lands while the Grens jump out of the house. One thing to keep in mind that you can do, is he actually going to do it? There you go. If you exit the house, you can bolt over that wall and then run away, which barely makes it alive. Grand Squad following up, trying to hold position. Very nice job here for Isdalicious in containing the Soviet player pretty much in his base for the most part. He only has 1 connected point. Molotov landing on his Grens. Grens having to move around. They will probably have to jump into the church. One of them actually catches fire on those Molotovs, and they're just sitting there in front of each other. They turn around to throw a rifle nade. Very nice rifle nade. Actually kills off an entire conscript squad. Very worth it. Rifle nade in that situation. And 2 more conscript squads are following up, taking a beating to that Grand Squad, and there he goes. Half-track hitting the center, but unfortunately it doesn't have any squads there to support. We have Pioneers just holding position over here, freezing to death. There's a nice fire a little bit to the right, which could, you know, do that. 18A landing on the half-track, doing some damage to it. Flamethrowers getting upgraded right on time and burning alive 2 of the conscripts on that squad, forcing them away, and the other squad decides to back off. We have more Grens pushing onto the field following the half-track, and these Pioneers need to move to start supporting the half-track, unless they're just going to sit there to freeze to death. Southern Victory Point is not currently captured by anybody, so victory point-wise, we are currently 500 to 346 in the favor of Isdalicious. Northern Fuel Point getting captured by Combat Engineers, and the Grenadiers over here moving him to intercept. Pioneers did end up having to retreat, and the half-track is pushing forward, getting into the center of the map. Grenadier squad for Isdalicious getting itself an LMG. Very nice upgrade there, and they are going to move up to capture the point. AT gun on the field for Spazmatic. He has gotten himself tier 2. Very nice, and that will keep that half-track at bay. It is actually in range of the half-track right now, so it needs to be rather careful, but with the blizzard in effect. Ooh, actually, with these conscripts moving into the zone, it takes a nasty shot. Second shot by the AT gun will take it out. He does pop smoke. Very nice, so ooh, very nice reaction there by Isdalicious. I approve of that. Gets himself the Blitzkrieg Doctrine and gets the Panzer Tactician upgrade and pops it immediately, denying the AT gun the sight range, or line of sight, that's what I'm trying to say, to be able to shoot at the half-track. So very nice. More soldiers freezing. This guy decides that he can't really take the cold anymore and just collapses to the ground. Quite sad. So, yeah, I mean, Isdalicious still doing a pretty good job holding the map. Not sure why he hasn't actually captured this point and started triple capping Spazmatic, but he is just leaving his units around to hold territory. Conscripts pushing into the center, making those pioneers having to back away. They are going to start repairing that half track, but it is going to take a while. It is heavily damaged, down to about 20% health with a damaged engine. Now we do see Battle Phase 2 getting upgraded for Isdalicious, so he's probably going to go for Tier 3. Unless he's trying to skip directly to Tier 4. As far as Spazmatic goes, he doesn't really have much. He did select his doctrine as well, and that is the Soviet Shock Army, which means that he can get himself the PPSH upgrade on his conscripts, which one of the squads actually has. It's the one forward right now, trying to capture that cutoff point, and it does, actually. Very nice. Well, decaps it is at least what I'm trying to say. And has the option of getting shock troops, so very nice doctrine there. Conscripts are getting mauled there by the Grenadiers. Conscripts do gain Veterancy 2, and at Veterancy 2 they will gain both combat and defensive bonuses, if I'm not mistaken. It's accuracy and durability, so yeah. One-man Gren having to retreat. Can he make it out alive? It looks like he's going to make it out alive, and the conscript squad decides to retreat as well, not risking getting itself shot. Half track on the field now fully reinforced, or repaired, is what I'm trying to say. And the Grenadiers are in the church, giving some sight range, taking some shots by the AT gun, and the half track is moving up to get behind that AT gun. Grenadier in the north retreating at one man. The half track is starting to roast that AT gun alive. And there we go, one man kill to that flame. And the AT gun is trying to retreat. There are shock troops moving up, but the shock troops can't really do much against the half track. And there we go, Isdalicious is starting to chase that AT gun down to 4 men. Can he clear it out? Shock troops taking a flame burst, but not a lot of damage actually. And the half track is actually focusing on the shock troops instead of the AT gun. The AT gun is a little bit more of a threat in this situation. There it goes, nice burst right on top of all the infantry and burns out all the crew of the AT gun and brings the shock troops down to 3 men, forcing them off of the field. Conscripts are pushing up though. They will be able to get an 18-8 if the half track doesn't move away. Half track getting Veterancy 2, reducing the damage that it takes, so that's going to be now a big old bitch to take down, and Grenadiers are pushing forward trying to stop those conscripts. Conscripts do move up and are going to throw 18-8s at that half track. 18-8s are going to get a crit on that engine, although they are not doing that just yet. One of the conscript squads decides to get onto the AT gun, and the other conscript squad is retreating, so no 18-8s actually landing on the half track because he didn't have the munitions for it. And the AT gun is once again going to get cleared out by the Grens and the half track. Second AT gun getting produced for Spazmatic will be able to help out fend off that that half track if he can actually get an 18-8, which he is going to do. He's getting ready to throw it. There goes the 18-8, very nice, getting the damage on the engine. And here comes the new AT gun, which will clear out this half track. The half track really has no choice. He can't move that fast, and even in Veterancy 2, he's going to take 2 shots and die. Does pop Panzer Tactician, trying to get the half track to safety, but it does die. Panzer 4 now on the field for Isdalicious, going straight for the AT gun. Can he actually get it cleared off? He does get out of the arc of fire, although he jumps back in. Conscript pushing forward. He does not have the munitions to throw an 18-8, and the AT gun decides not to turn its sight against the Panzer 4, quite interestingly. Second AT gun getting recruited again once for Spazmatic. He is retreating it back to base, so he will be able to get it reinforced. Doesn't look like Spazmatic actually has medics at this point, does he? It doesn't look like he does. So AT guns turning to face their German enemies and taking some shots at the infantry. The Grens themselves are getting shot by the base sector MGs, getting a little bit suppressed. And they do end up having to retreat completely. Panzer IV is moving around in the north, retreated a long distance actually. And finally, we see the victory point in the south gonna get captured by Isdalicious. Victory point wise, 480 to 216, still very well in the favor of Isdalicious. He doesn't really have much to worry about. And we have some combat engineers behind enemy lines capturing territory and cutting off the south for Isdalicious. Center of the map, Panzer IV taking some shots at the conscript. The conscript Ura on top of the tank, getting an 18-8 off. Very nice crit on the engine. And the AT guns are pushing up, trying to get some shots on the Panzer IV, but the Panzer IV is just simply backing away. It's a standard engine damage, not heavy engine damage, so he should be fine. Panzer Grenadiers getting produced for Isdalicious. He should yeah, I mean, those should be pretty good. Obviously, he has to deal with PPSHs and shock troops, which means, you know, they're not as good, you know, against infantry or conscripts, that is, as with other doctrines, but, you know, they're still pretty good. Nice. Nice mine line laid down there in front of the conscripts, but no, wait, that's the S minefield. Huh, interesting. We don't see those used a lot. That is for Isdalicious. So, not bad, but you can see why people don't use it. Mine went off, and it only did health damage, not even killed one guy. I mean, if it would at least kill the guy that steps on it like 100% of the time, and maybe, you know, do a little bit of damage to the other guys, I suppose they would be okay, but, you know. More mines getting laid down by the Pioneers, and these are S mines. Not entirely sure ooh. Nasty shot there on that Pioneer, kills him on the retreat. Not entirely sure I agree with the S mines. The S mines are very weak for the most part. They're not really worth the ammunition you spend. Might be better to, I don't know, if you really want to lay down mines, go for the Rigel mines on the half-track. Ooh, very nice bundle laid there on the AT gun, but the Panzer Grenadiers are down to one man and actually get executed to those PPSHs, which is what I was saying for the Panzer Grenadiers. So a little bit of a waste there. The bundle laid was nice attempt, but it actually landed in front of the AT gun, so the shielding on the AT gun pretty much absorbed all the damage and didn't really get much kills. I think only one person died there. Grenadiers pushing to the north, recapturing territory over there. We have more Grants all over the place. So still 4 Grants and now 2 Panzer IVs on the field for Isdalicious. He really has the armored advantage right now. There are still 2 AT guns on the field for spazmatic, so he has to be a little bit wary of that. But not a lot else on the field for those Panzer IVs to worry about. I mean, they can simply just push in, take some shots, take some return fire from the AT guns, and then pull back with relatively safety. You know that they're not going to get chased down. At least not yet. Shock troops down south capturing that strategic point. They actually are forced off of the point by that Panzer IV. They don't retreat, they just simply walk away and don't actually finish the capping on this point, so it's going to get decapped once again in possession of no one, but they're going to move into the center to stay on the field. AT gun does turn around and set up in that angle, just waiting for that Panzer IV to come, but it doesn't. And the Pioneers are finishing the repairs on the Panzer IV in the center of the map. Cutoff point getting captured once again by these conscripts. We see the Panzer IV turning around and going to go engage them, but they will be able to decap that point well in time. And we have Grants coming through the northern approach, going to get a little bit of a flank on the Soviet forces. Very nice. AT gun landing on the 18-8 landing on the Panzer IV, getting a crit on the engine. The AT gun set up in a nice angle, actually able to shoot at that Panzer IV, gets a shot in, brings it down to about half health, and the 2-man conscript squad ends up just backing away. Grants in the center, more Panzer IVs, and this conscript squad is in a lot of trouble. Down to 1 man on the retreat, in between 3 Grand squads and a Panzer IV, doesn't make it alive. AT gun backs off over here, takes some shots at this Panzer IV. This other AT gun is currently flanked by that Panzer IV, does turn its gun against it. Will be able to get a shot off. There it goes, very nice. Panzer IV decides to continue moving forward and will get out of its arc of fire. The AT gun will fire at the Grants, but it is going to get cleared out unless something happens. No, there it goes, AT gun out of action. Could actually get picked up by Isdalicious, yeah. Isdalicious floating a little bit of manpower right now, up to 700 manpower. Yeah, I mean, you want to spend that as much as you can, but you know, you have to find something that you're comfortable with using. There's a lot of things to use. You know, Panzer Grenadiers are the, you know, most obvious choice because they are very easy to use in conjunction with your infantry, but you can always get, you know, MG42s, mortars, snipers, a lot of things like that. But yeah, try to always use your manpower, or hell, even build, you know, caches. Build a fuel cache over here, build one over here. Hell, you can even build one over here just to stop the harassing of that point for a little while. And, you know, increase your fuel income. That's always going to help. So anyway, center of the map, we see the shock troops and some conscripts pushing away all the infantry for Isdalicious. All of his grenadiers having to retreat down to 2 and 1 man on most of them. And the Panzer IVs down south are currently getting repaired. The Pioneers are currently freezing to death while trying to do so. It's a little weird that they can't really borrow heat from the engine of the tank and the blow torches they're using apparently. But yeah, they are freezing themselves to death. Med bunker getting upgraded for Isdalicious. Very nice. That's also a nice dump there for manpower. And we see more Grenadiers getting produced for Isdalicious. That is, well, what he decided to spend his manpower in. Not exactly sure I agree with that. I mean, 4 Grens are pretty much all you really need at any point. So like I said, Panzer Grenadiers would also be a nice addition if you just wanted to have more combat units, mortars, MGs, hell, pack guns. I don't know, there's a lot of other things to choose from, but, well, I suppose this will give him a lot more capping potential, but I don't know. Anyways, up north we see combat engineers for spazmatic just capturing territory. Center of the map we see the Panzer IV taking some shots at shock troops. Shock troops down to about 4 men, and we have a mortar on the field for spazmatic, and that is the 120mm mortar. Landing some nasty shots there that look like artillery. AT gun pushing up. The other AT gun actually got cleared out by Isdalicious. Very nice. AT gun in the center does take a shot at that Panzer IV and does some good damage there. Both Panzer IVs down south. One is about half health. The other one is at about 80. Mortar, so it's just landing some shots on where the Panzer IV was. Another Pioneer squad moving up, trying to increase that repair rate, but there are conscripts there with PPS agents right on top of those conscripts. If they throw a Molotov, that's going to do a lot of damage. And there goes the Molotov. No? Yes? No? I would throw a Molotov, but no, he decides to not do that. And away goes the conscripts. Down to 3 men on the retreat, getting battered by that Panzer IV, but not much they can do about it. Center of the map, we see the Grenadiers coming in for a nice flank right on top of that AT gun. Down to 2 men on the move, and there is the 120mm mortar. It's setting up and turning around, but it is going to get swarmed by those Grens. We'll make it out alive because it has 6 men. It's very close to its base, so should be fine. But the AT gun is just continuing to push back. Shock troops pushing onto the field, but against 4 Gren squads with LMGs, all of them, those shock troops are going to get ripped to shreds quite fast. Nade landing right on top of the Grens, doing some good damage. 2 men killed to that nade on one of the squads. But, wow, was that a friendly kill? Yeah, the AT gun actually shot and killed one of the shock troops. And the shock troops end up retreating. 1 man on the retreat, makes it alive though. And the Grens continue to push forward, trying to actually get the clear off on that AT gun, but there is a second AT gun already produced for spazmatic, so the Panzer IVs won't be able to just simply run into the base. Flak, oh, very nice shot there by the 120mm mortar. Actually kills a lot of those Grens. And the, let's see, how many kills was that? Up to 8 kills on that mortar. Flak Panzer produced for Isdalicious, trying to rush into the base. It knew about the very damaged AT gun, but it didn't know about the second one, so that Flak Panzer took quite a beating in the face and is having to back off and will have to get repaired once again. Down south, Panzer IV still getting repaired. We have Pioneers that ended up retreating, hitting the field once again, so the Panzer IV are still not in full strength. But, well, victory point-wise, it's 460 to 75 in the favor of Isdalicious. Isdalicious is currently capturing both of those victory points up north, although there is this combat engineer in the northeastern one, which will apparently get cleared out by that Gren squad. And there you go, spazmatic not even wanting to retreat that, so both points will be taken, so I think that's going to be it for spazmatic. So, yeah. Again, not really high-level play here in this game. One thing I guess I would recommend or suggest for Isdalicious is to, I mean, if you want to really get, critical, send in a loss. You're always going to learn more from your losses than you do from your victories. So, yeah. Even personally, just take a look and analyze those and see where you went wrong, what you could have done differently, and yeah, you're always going to learn more from the games you lose. Rifle lane going right on top of the shock troops. Very nice rifle lane. Brings him down to 1 man and ends up retreating, but in retaliation, the 120mm mortar shoots the squad and almost kills it out completely, down to 1 man. But it is going to retreat and make it out just fine. Flak Panzer did get fully repaired, but there are 2 AT guns right there, but it looks like spazmatic has had enough and decides to just leave the game. He didn't really have much he could do, and there were already 3 German armor on the field. He lost a lot of infantry, down to 1 shock troop and 1 conscript, mortar, and AT guns. So, yeah, yeah, I would actually ask, if possible, for you guys in the, fans, leave some comments and suggestions for Isdalicious, things that he can pick up and improve. Because, like I said, I mean, unless you're showing a loss, it's kind of a little bit more difficult to tell you where you could have, improved. But oh well. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.